Welcome back to the Yo Hear Me Out podcast. And we are your hosts. I'm Avery, here with my co-host Leland. And this is episode 35 of the podcast. 35. What's
Yes,
going on,
sir.
cuz?
What's up, cuz, man? We got a good show for you guys tonight, man. We
Let's go.
you know how we go. We got everywhere from pop culture, hip hop, basketball season start today.
Let's
It's gonna
get
be a
it.
live episode. We appreciate you guys being here, man. So let's get into it, yo. You know how typically we start off every show by doing a would you rather. We got a special would you rather for y'all today. One that we talked about a little bit in the past. I think this would you rather, Avery, you told me years ago. I don't know if the number was the same, but the would you rather is, would you rather have dinner with Jay-Z or get $500K?
Yeah. And so as you said, man, I've seen different variations of this. I've seen it be 50K, I've seen it be 100K, but there's a clip. Jay-Z came out, made a stance on it. And so there's a clip that we'll play for you guys in a bit here. But for me, this is very similar because we also did, I think maybe even the first episode of the podcast or one of the early episodes we did, would you rather go to the Rock Nation brunch or get $250?
Yeah, very early. Yeah.
To me, I chose the money then, and I'm choosing the money now, son. Give me that bread, son. Give me that bread. It's a no-brainer, son. It's a no-brainer.
No. Listen. This is what I'm saying. Before this joint get all the way, I'm like, you said, look, this is, first of all, a dinner with Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, one individual. My main thing with the Rock Nation brunch was that you were in the room with multiple people. You can make way more connections.
Sure.
Maybe not as high a connection as Jay-Z, but you could make way more.
But counterpoint though, this is now more intimate. Dinner with Jay-Z, I'm almost giving you basically an hour and a half at a table, just you and him though. You know what I'm saying?
But you also saying 500K.
Okay.
And my main point to you is that when the Rock Nation brunch was that, listen, there's going to be somebody that's resonating. Like, you might not actually like really kick it off with Jay-Z. Like, you have a lesser chance, and so opposed to like, oh, I'm at a brunch for 3 or 4 hours. I might talk to this person. I might talk to this person. Sure. We might connect, and like it's a little bit different. And 500K is crazy. Now, I will tell you this right now.
Talk to me.
That number was like 50 or 100. I'm taking that sit down with Jay-Z.
Hold on. Okay. So as the question stands, dinner with Jay-Z or 500,000, you taking the 500,000 as it stands?
No.
I mean, hold on. That's what right now.
Yeah. You're right. I was like, wait, no. Yeah, I'm taking the 500K. I told you, I've said that it's stated, right? Like,
yeah,
if I have 500K right now, I'm retired. Like, if I had 500K liquid, like, I feel like that's enough money for me to like never work again. And so like in that,
we're gonna talk about, because you're in real estate, so we're gonna talk about that coming up too. So
yeah, we got a lot of real estate talking about coming up. But so that amount is just a little too much for me to risk on one dinner with one individual.
Yeah.
Whereas, like you said, if you're talking about 50K, 100K.
So even 100K, you okay. So listen, we agreed in right now. Y'all let us know in the chat what you think. Jay-Z, dinner with Jay-Z or 500,000. You brought up an interesting point too, which I hadn't thought of either. Because sometimes in life, you just don't necessarily click with certain people. What if you get the joy and it's like a vibe, like even platonically, like you can have like kind of sparking there, like dang, we kind of
like
vibe now. Now we just sitting here, you know.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? This was so crazy. I'm not even a big Jay-Z fan. Like, hot take or not, like I don't really rock with Jay-Z at all. Like, it's not. I don't hate him. I just, his music doesn't like really move me like everybody else does. Like, shoot, it's Jay. Like, I'm just like, I get it. Crazy bars. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, you sitting down at dinner, he like, so do you like my music? And be like, I don't really know much of it. You know what I'm saying? Like now you already.
But also too, this other thing I'm thinking about too. How old is JC? I looked this up because I'm imagining he's in his 40s or something. I'm also thinking, I'm not married, no kids. You know what I'm saying? Also, I'm not a billionaire. It's also gonna be a little, unless it's about to be like a pure, like, yo, mentor me, like relationship right away. We may not hit that little, like, oh man, it's a cool dude. Like,
he could be annoyed and just want to eat and be silent for an hour, and then I'm like, dang.
Yeah, they still look. As you said in the chat, he's 53, so that's what I'm saying. It's a different little age gap there too. Like, we got to come in with.
I didn't know he was that old, son. My man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm about to come in with the sports. Yo, I know. Actually, I'm coming in with the sports because he does have a position with the NFL. So I'll probably hit him with that way. Since talk to me about the position. He's doing something.
Then he had a Brooklyn Nets. And
he did own it at one point, but now he has a sports agency. I know him a little more. Yeah, he owns a sports agency now, I think, or at least at one point. So he had to give up his ownership of the Brooklyn Nets, but he does have a position within the NFL now currently. So maybe I'll talk about that. Like, hey, yo, man, like, talk about football or something. But unless it's about to be just that straight up, like, you the mentor, I'm the mentee, like, it's a possibility the vibe ain't there, man. So
right.
Now let us know, Leland. But you're saying something interesting now. You said even 100K, you might take the dinner with Jay-Z over the 100K.
Yeah. 100K.
Talk about that, bro. What you think? What's up?
Listen, man. In our next topic, we're gonna talk about DJ Envy and Cesar, right? But I guess what I'm saying is, like, man, look, 100K, bro. Like, I guess what I'm saying is you can come across 100K. Investments. You can raise 100K. You can borrow 100K. Like, that's 100K.
I don't know what the demographics of the audience, man, but y'all might be getting some. Even though I'm in a nicer background right now, y'all might be getting a little clue to how Leland Living said. He said, "Yo, you can come across 100K, son." Like,
you can. What I'm saying is, like,
I don't know if everybody listening can just come across 100K.
Like, okay, it's not. I'm not gonna say like it's easy, but it's not. It's easier than to have a sit down with Jay-Z.
Sure,
you see what I'm saying?
That's true. That is true.
Like, it's not like, oh, it's gonna fall out the sky. But what I'm saying is, like, what you need 100K to do, right? Most people, maybe pay off some debts and then they're gonna spend it. Like, probably by the end of that year, that 100K gonna be 20. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I hope most people would just pay off debts and try to get into the real estate. That's what I would do.
Okay, perfect. Now, if that was your thing, then you could find a way to get into real estate. You could find a way to leverage, get credit cards. Like, there's ways to get to 100, or at least close to it. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, or 50, 60, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can do that. But you can't get in a room with somebody like this for that amount.
You're not going to just get and sit down with Jay-Z.
Nah, you're just not going to do that. So that's
what's the value of potential? You ain't seen the clip yet, right?
No, I ain't seen the clip yet.
Listen, we might need to pay. Go ahead, Lee. Go ahead. We might need to pay the clip though next. So
I mean, it just really comes down to, like, I think one of your big points in the Rock Nation brunch was like, what do you have to sell? Like, what are you trying? Like, what is your
trying to do, basically? Yeah.
What are you trying to do?
You can sit down with him, and then what do you expect to happen as a result of this sit down now?
I mean, I guess you just sitting down talking at dinner. Like, for me, you personal, you just talking about, like, who you are, what you do, what you passionate about. And hope that it's somewhere in that it aligns. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to imagine, or at least I would hope to believe that if I'm sitting down with Jay-Z, however this got set up, that he would be like, "Hey, man, like, what you about, man? Like, what do you do?"
Sure.
I feel like, if nothing else, he'd be willing to sit down and give another black young man insight. And he might not necessarily have a connection, but he'll be like, "Hey, I like that," or
sure,
you ain't thought about this, or I'm into this, or I'm into that, or maybe I'll connect you. Like, that's all I really would need. Like, you like, you got CPAs, or you got a investor, some dude like that. Like, I know a guy. I'm gonna text him right now. Yeah, I'll link y'all up, and maybe he'll be your mentor. You see what I'm saying? Like, that in itself, I promise you, would be worth more than 100,000. I promise.
Well, listen, man. Let's go ahead and roll the clip, Ashley. Roll the clip. We'll hear Jay-Z's official stance on the matter. Roll the clip. Yeah, we'll see what he says. So he had to sit down with Gayle King. He had to sit down. I think Good Morning America, ABC, something like that. And she brought up this question here because it's been meme for a lot. Like you said, I think I sent it 2 years ago or whatever. So people have always said this thing is a meme, and she had it. So here it is. Here, yeah. CBS
There's something interesting online, Jay. I'd love to hear what you think about this. If you had a choice between getting paid $500,000 in cash or lunch with Jay-Z, which would you choose?
You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say? Yeah, I mean, everything that I'm gonna say.
No, only because people say, of course, you take lunch with Jay-Z because the wisdom that you would get from him would be so beneficial to you There would only be a matter. You would take the money.
Yeah, because you got all that in the music for $10.99. That's a bad deal. I wouldn't tell you to cut a bad deal. Like,
I don't
take
know.
the 500,000, go buy some albums and listen to the albums. It's all there. If you piece it together and really listen to the music for the words, for what it is, it's all there. Everything that I said was gonna happen. Everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done. And there's the blueprint. The blueprint, literally, to me and my life and my journey is there already.
Okay, look, man. One thing I like about this here, though, and this is my thing too. This is my answer. Jay-Z said it perfect. He said, "You take that money." He said, "Yo, what I'm gonna say to you?" That's what I'm thinking. Like, you gonna sit down with him, like, all right, like you here, but yo, what you expect me to say to you, son? You know what I mean? Like,
all right. So this is funny, right? So I wish I would have. If I would have been a little bit more prepared. So I actually, right before this, I seen like a recap, like Good Morning America was doing a recap of her doing the interview, kind of promoting it before it comes out. Okay. And she said that right after that take, that he was like, Jay-Z was telling her, like, man, you know, had I really been thinking about it, I probably would have said something different, or I would have had something different to say about that take. Okay. That's what she said on the joint. But I mean, yeah, like, bro, 500K that's crazy, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy because you're asking him, like, I don't think you can put too much stock in, like, because nobody's really gonna like if somebody was like, all right, Avery, look, what's your value, right? You almost a doctor. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing the school thing for a while. You gotta have a wealth of knowledge, right? Sure. If you ask somebody who is trying to be somewhere like you, right? Okay. And they say, like, oh man, like, man, Avery, they willing to pay $10,000 to sit down and talk to you. We'll pay $5,000 for dinner to sit down and talk to you. What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna take the money for sure, but I feel like if you want to get into grad school, you can get in for less than $10,000 conversation with me. You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I guess what I'm saying is you're probably deferred, kind of like he is. Like, hey, like, I'm not that great. Like, you can just go to school and do it. It's kind of like what he was saying. Like, hey, like, I said it, I rapped about it in the music. I just stayed on course and blah blah blah. But you know, and I know, or at least I know, that there is way more nuance in that, and there's something else in that process that somebody else might find valuable that you don't necessarily.
It's like this though. This is what I'm thinking too, man. I feel like, Leland, you're in a unique situation too as an entrepreneur into real estate legitimately. I know we keep teasing it; it's coming up soon, but you're in a real estate legitimately. So you're in a unique position. I don't know that most of the people in the comments. I think also, if I'm an aspiring artist, say I put out a couple albums and I'm doing music full time, I can even see that person being, you know what? Listen, I need to get him for Jay-Z. This little sit down here. Maybe I play with some of my music. I can see certain people, but for the vast majority of people, I think just take that money, because even like what he's going to say, because a lot of times the conversation just be like, oh man, Jay-Z's going to drop so much wisdom and knowledge to me, and that's going to be enough, a lifelong with gems. And he's like, bro, what you expect me to say here? Like, that's about to change your life. You know what I mean? I'm not about to now, but you're saying is something different though, what most people don't get to. Like, maybe he can connect you with someone valuable. But as far as like what Jay-Z's going to come out his mouth and say, like, bro, you be better off reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Money Making Habits. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think what you're saying is right. I agree with you. I feel like there's a level of there's a mindset, there's a place, or a time in your life where or if you just on that type of time in general, like I think the main thing is, like, are your interests aligned, right? Like, are you trying to do something? Are you trying to build something? Are you trying to acquire something, invest in something? If that's aligned with kind of what he's doing in there, you can see the value in it. If it's not, like, if you just, like you said, like, you just I'm here, or I'm in college, I'm 18 years old, I don't even know what I want to do in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, of course.
Take that money.
You're still gonna probably burn that money. It don't really matter.
You may still burn the money for sure, but it's more so like this. That one conversation, like I said, going back to the Rock Nation brunch conversation we had, but even with this one, you might get a picture at the end of it. Oh my God, like, yo, Jay-Z, that's crazy. You gotta sit down with Jay-Z. That's wow. You know what I'm saying? But
you know what's so crazy is,
what's that?
Not 500, but you could probably be hot on social media for a little bit by just like telling the story. Like, I did take that. Like, I did take the brunch with Jay-Z. Like, I'll tell you
No,
about
true.
it.
If this was some little system here, if it was some little like Make-A-Wish or almost something, you know what I mean? And you got to do it. But the thing is, you need regular outlets to pick it up. Like you would need a CBS, which I think in that case they would if it was public. But if it just happened like just by proxy,
you could do a YouTube. You could do it. You could do a little like
but if
like listen, bro, you could do a whole YouTube series. Like, bro, listen, I took the sit down with Jay-Z for lunch. This is what I learned, right? You lay it all out. Hey, I learned this, X, Y, Z, and then you'd be like, all right, look, and now I'm about to do a series on. I'm gonna apply it. Like these, my next episodes is me applying what I got from Jay-Z and seeing how that worked, bro. Literally, tell me not, bro.
I knew one guy that did that with Mr. Beast actually. And it was okay for a little bit, but then the content wasn't all that because this was a guy. There's a black guy that Mr. Beast, I think, bought him a house.
Okay.
And everything in the house. And he had little videos after, like, yo, man, I met Mr. Beast, you know. That's what I'm telling you, bro. Yo, he was like, yo, I was with
Why do you do that?
Because it was kind of like, all right,
okay.
And then once he got to his content, it's like,
it's not good. It's not good, bro.
You got some views. I watched that first video, like, okay, it's cool. I think I watched the second one, but then the content was like, yeah, I'm not really watching this joint, man. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, that's YouTube for you, bro.
Yeah,
you know
that's
YouTube. Opportunity. It's the opportunity, man. What I'm saying is like
500,000 on my boy. Listen, that 500,000.
Listen, 500,000.
You can literally. I feel like you could hire a team and get your YouTube more popping if you went to the right people and like, yo, I got this idea. I don't know if that YouTube automation is a scam. It looked kind of scammy, but you might can even put 10,000 towards that to do that. You know what I'm saying? You can do something else and get your YouTube popping with that 500K as opposed to that, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's a good one to talk about, though.
It's a good one to talk about, man. I like that he weighed in on it. I thought that was cool that they did the whole thing in the interview. But yeah, I think we're on the same page. It just really comes down to like where you at and what you're trying to do. What, do you see the value in it? I don't necessarily know that Jay-Z sees the value in himself, if that makes sense.
I think he does. I don't think he sees it with a random person for an hour. Like I think Jay-Z as a brand.
And that amount, I think the amount is like
that's the other thing. Because if it was like, yo, you $1,000 dinner with Jay-Z would be like, come on, man, come to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we doing here? I can definitely give you more than you know what I mean? But
the value,
I can't say that Jay-Z don't see his value. I think in this context, he's mostly like, what am I going to add to you that's more than 500,000?
More than 500,000. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, if it was,
want me to say, like he said, he laughed, like, yo, what you
like? Where am I? Like, that's a lot of pressure. Like, I gotta hit you with something so gravity. Like that's what I'm saying.
Better than 500,000.
Yeah, first of all, somebody took the question, they threw it. They 500K.
Gail King too. I don't know if I ever seen 500,000 too. She misread it on social media. It was like, all right, they saying Jay-Z 1.2 million or
that's crazy. Would you want $1 billion or just to talk to Jay-Z, who is a billionaire? Like, what? You crazy, yo?
One last thing I'll say too, I thought about, bro. You talk about like you mentioned the dynamic of a man, Jay-Z's maybe seeing a young black man willing to invest. I'm pretty sure like a lot of people that are really rich, they're philanthropic. But one person that's really, really known for it though is Bill Gates. Though I think with Bill Gates potentially, you might be better. Like you talk about somebody who's kind of known. He just like, bro, and he also said, I'm not leaving my money to my kids. Like he might actually 500,000 of Bill Gates. I still might lean to 500,000, but that's one person I can see. Like, you know what? Actually, Bill Gates, you might be better off because he's kind of like like giving his money freely and he has a lot of connections. And
I feel you, but I guess what I'm saying is I think that the root of it is just that this is what my point is that
talk to me.
Money is limited in value. And then knowledge and network and connections are. You see what I'm saying? Like your network connections, your credibility. We'll talk about somebody who is losing their credibility, but like that, the whole reason he could scam people was off the namesake, like his value.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, though. And this is what I'm thinking. I think the knowledge. You're not going to get 500,000 worth of knowledge, though. No way. So
you're not going to get 500,000 worth of value. That's why it serves.
Well, even knowledge specific. You might get the connection, but the knowledge is he can't give you $500,000 worth of knowledge in that hour. You know what I mean?
Not in that hour. You would have to absolutely, like you.
Only person that can give you that type of knowledge, quote unquote, would be really a university system, and that's only because you get the degree at the end. Like, you know what I mean? You can actually do something tangible with if you go to school for 4 years or you get a PhD or something like that. But as far as knowledge, you can't get that much. But now connections, those would be, but that's not knowledge. And when I see people saying it, they're just saying, "Yo, man, Jay-Z gonna teach me the game, and he gonna show me."
Not in no hour, bro. Not in no hour. But I think the connections are. Man, and we're gonna move from this, but I'm saying like I've met people in shorter time frames that have made me, more. You see what I'm saying? Like you just the connection. Like, hey, I didn't even think about this. Like, yo, like this person, I met this person got me an idea for this. They, like that's a little bit more valuable, and you have to imagine just the people that he knows, the people that he's connected to, maybe even his assistant. He might just be like, all right, cool. Talk to my assistant. Now that he tells his assistant to actually talk to me, now I got access to, you see what I'm saying? Like that's incredibly valuable. If you got something, or even if you're just trying to acquire, like to build something. So
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we'll leave it. Let us know in the chat for sure, man.
Okay.
How you feeling on this? Yeah, how you feeling, man? You taking any amount of money? Is there amount of money that you could take what is that? What is that amount that you would take or you wouldn't take over the sit down?
You talking about for me or you talking about the chat now?
Say for you and then we'll leave it for the chat.
Well, listen, man. Even 5,000, I'm taking a dinner with Jay-Z. I'm taking a dinner with Jay-Z.
That's pretty low, man.
Huh?
That's all.
Listen, like I said, it depends on what I'm trying to do, man. I just thought of one last situation. Like I know he's done a lot of stuff with like prison reform, him, Meek Mill, and things like that. So even say I had a loved one that's incarcerated, and like even the 500,000 may not move the needle in the sense of getting them out, but like, yo, if I can tell the case to Jay-Z, like, yo, man, he was wrongly accused. Jay-Z know all these people. That's another situation. Like, you know what? That could go further than this 500 because he can get the public behind it. He can push, you know what I'm saying? All these different things.
Yeah, so, if he feels convicted.
If he feels convicted, he could probably make it happen bigger because, Meek Mill, Robert Kraft, all them, even Kim Kardashian, these things, they all know each other. They big into that stuff. Who knows? You could possibly, your loved one could be out in a bit. So there is a man. I have to think about it, man. I have to think about it, bro. But
all right, yeah, put that in the chat, man. Y'all let us know, man. If you are on the side of getting the money, what amount of money would actually sway you to take the dinner?
Yes. And so speaking of money, man, there was a popular radio host, DJ Envy. He hosts the Breakfast Club. And him and his friend, ex-business partner, Cesar Pena, they have a real estate scandal. So I'll read this little clipping out here. It says, starting in 2017, Cesar began accepting investments from victims for the alleged purchase, remodel, and sale of specific real estate projects in New Jersey and other states. To induce his victims, Pena also promised 20 to 45% return on investments within 5 months. But instead of using the victim's money as promised, he engaged in a Ponzi-like scheme by taking some money and using it to pay off other people and things like that. And so the investigation has revealed that he has defrauded dozens of investors for millions of dollars, and he has been arrested. I think he's out on bail now. And where DJ Envy ties into this is because DJ Envy was kind of promoting him on the Breakfast Club, the radio show, and they would do tours and things like that. And pretty much he gave him the super co-stamp, you know what I mean? So he gave him the co-sign, and that's kind of how DJ Envy has got brought into this thing here. And so, Leland, man, I know you know some things about it and everything like that. Do you have an overall take on it, the situation with DJ Envy and Cesar? What do you think, man?
Yeah, man, it's unfortunate. It's not uncommon, honestly. And really? I don't no, it's not uncommon because I mean, people just they dishonest, you know what I'm saying? And and that's just not uncommon in general. Like it doesn't matter if it's real estate, it could be, I mean, just a Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme, like whatever you want to call it. Like people are kind of dishonest about how things are going and like what their intentions are. And so yeah, man, it's unfortunate, bro. I don't know, like for me, right, being in this kind of industry, right, like being in it, I have investors that invest in some of my deals, and you talk about getting them a return and stuff like that. Like, the realities of it are true, man. It is an investment. So you can't really promise anything, right? So I don't know what. I guess my question.
What do you tell your investors then? If you say, "Hey, man, so you got the property, you need X," go ahead and give us some numbers, maybe clean numbers, and what are you saying to them at the end of this?
So let's say, for example, right? One of my deals we did, it was a house. We needed $100,000.
Okay.
It was like 60,000 on the purchase, and it probably cost about roughly 40,000 to renovate it. Let's just use 100,000, right? Say, all right, cool. We're gonna use 100,000. We're gonna need it for like 6 months. and at the end of the 6 months, I'll either pay you a flat interest rate of like 10%, 15%. So I'll pay you like 10 to 15.
So 100, you got to give them that 100, like basically 115,000, about 110
right.
back. Okay.
Yeah. I get 100. I borrow 100. I basically give them 110 back, or 115. Or you can do like a payment schedule. You're paying them interest only payments every month, and they get like $100,000 every month. And then whenever you actually pay off the loan, you pay them back, and whatever they had over those few months, they get to keep. That's their interest.
Okay.
So,
okay.
It's not.
But still, you ain't saying 20 to 45%. I didn't hear that in this thing. Like I'm about to hit you back with the.
No. I mean, like I think that's what I'm saying. Like it could be false. He could have been trying to just sell people on the idea. Mm-hmm. It could have been partly true in some regards. Okay. It's not impossible.
But here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. So with the investment, I'm assuming you're trying to make some money too. Then, so whatever percentage you give on that, you're trying to also make something for yourself. So if you pay back 115, how much are you in that case we're hoping to sell the house for?
Right. I mean? So let's say, for instance, right, that house that we bought for 60, we put 40 in it. Let's say it sells for 150.
Okay.
So it sells for 150. Your investor gets, 15,000, 15% interest. It's really more than 15% because usually the percentages are based off annually. So he might have said it like that. Like if you're paying someone.
That is more than 50% annually. Yes, if you give 115 for 6 months,
that'd be like 30%. You see what I'm saying? Sure. I'm at a rate of 30% on their money. So that's what I'm saying. Like the semantics of it, I don't know enough about it to speak about exactly, but it's possible that you could do something like that. Like, oh yeah, I'm giving you about 20%. That would basically be if I gave you 10% of your money in 6 months, that's at a rate of 20%.
20% on the year.
Yeah. So yeah, those things work. Like I said, you make a 50K, you pay your investors 15. Now you walk away with 35.
Yeah,
cool. And you didn't have to use none of your money. That's really standard, right?
So here's what I want to get into too. This is what I want to get into too, because to me, with real estate, in that same situation, is there a situation that can come where basically you've lost all the money? Say things go terribly wrong. Like, oh my, everything is terribly wrong. You bought the house for 60. How much do you think you could sell it for after you put some money? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Because also, isn't there insurance? I'm guessing even with a house that's being constructed, isn't there some insurance you would have on it?
Insurance for what though? Like,
well, more so fire, flood, things like that.
Yeah. You can't. Yeah, like you.
So that's what I'm asking. What's the minimum? Like, I took 100,000. Is it possibility to be like, to me, it seems like for real estate to be like, bro, it's all going seems impossible. Like I have zero of your 100,000 now.
Well, I think what you fail to realize is like they're saying he had a Ponzi scheme. So basically, he was saying it was going to the use of a real estate project, but it was not.
Of course.
So like there's probably value in the property itself, but he might have sold the property already.
Sure.
He might have he might be over leveraged in the property to where like, who does he pay if he got investment from 5 different investors for 100,000? Let's say, for instance, right? He goes to that house and say, hey, look, I need $100,000 for this house. And they say, all right, cool. I'll give you 15% return. And then he goes to another investor and say, hey, look, I'm buying this house. I need $100,000 for this house. And I'll give you a 15% return. They say, all right, cool. He does that 5 more times, right? Now he didn't raise $500,000 for the same one house. And the way, however he's doing it, he's just not doing it in a way that's really tied to this property. So
I know. So that's what I'm saying. Is there a way to do it? Like if he actually bought the house, that's what I'm saying. In your situation, say you actually bought a house for 60,000. What's the absolute, like everything went terrible? How much of that 100,000 can you still give back to the person? Like, bro, listen, everything went terrible. Ain't it still gonna be like at least 30, 40,000? Here's 40,000.
No. Yeah, for sure. But that's what I'm saying. That's you're assuming that he's not over leveraged. I guess what I'm saying is like, so let me step back and say all this, right? And this might just get too crazy, right? But the reason these people are getting scammed is because they are handing him the cash. There are investment vehicles and things in place to where you can actually tie it to the property legally. So he cannot do anything on the property until you get paid.
So you're
right?
saying like your name's on official paperwork and like
like the count. Anytime he tries to sell, refinance, do anything with the property, if you have a deed or a lien against the property for that note, then you have to have a payoff. You have to sign off on that, them selling that property. So people are getting scammed because DJ Envy's behind them. He has such a big name that he's probably convincing them to give him like a promissory note, what they call unsecured line or unsecured debt. So they're just handing them a check and saying like, oh, we got a piece of paper saying you're going to pay me this back. That's cool. But if you want to go a step further and be a little bit more safe and secure some of that, you would actually have that written or recorded against the property. So no one could actually do anything with the property unless you got a piece of it. And that's where this kind of gets unfortunate, because that's probably what they're doing. They're just telling, because it is easier, you know, and I've had it both ways. I've had people give me promissory notes. I've had people go against the property. It all really comes down to the trustworthiness of the investor and like what they're trying to do. So if you trust them, which in this case clearly they did, probably because of the cosign of all these, you know, famous people, it kind of gets unfortunate like that.
That's interesting. So basically what I'm hearing too, and then listen, guys, we teach you guys just like Jay-Z here. You can be learning from this conversation. So what I'm hearing though from this though is that if someone did it legitly though, there's not going to be, bro, your 100,000 is completely gone. If I actually bought this house and everything went terrible, like everything is terrible, right? Like what can I still expect back from that 100,000? Like it's the worst case you can imagine. Outside of the insurance company going belly under, I guess the insurance company.
No. The worst. I mean, all right. So ideally, the worst case scenario is like, hey, like even if you did it legitly, if this really comes down to the value of the house, the value of the house is subject to the market. And to the guys doing the work, right? So if he took all that money that you gave him to do the repairs and he didn't do the repairs, and the house is still worth 60,000 like you bought it, you've given him 100,000, right? So at most, if they sell the property at 60, then that's what you could be given.
Gotcha.
But that's I said, that's if you do it legitly. If you do it,
if the person does it legit, because that's what I'm getting to. If a person did it legit, that's what I'm thinking. To me, when I hear, I invested in real estate and it's all going, it's like, hold on, it can't be all going. I need to, even if I'm getting back 40,000 of my 100,000, okay, like I'm tight still, but at least it's different than, bro. I got zero for you, dog. It's going, things went bad. It's like, how bad can things actually go if you bought this property? If anything, just give me the property back now. You know what I'm saying? Give me the property. I'll try to do something with it. You know?
Yeah. I mean, that's absolutely possible. That's why, when people say foreclosed, like, you get foreclosed, you can do that as an investor. If you write somebody a lien and they refuse to pay you to terms, you can foreclose on that property and now own it. That's why it's so secure.
That would be now own it or not own it.
You would now own that property if you took them to court, like you foreclosed, you took it to the county, say, hey man, this guy ain't paid me. I have a lien against this property. I'd like to move forward the foreclosure process. You can actually go through that process and then own the property yourself.
Would that happen with the promissory note, or would you need the other thing?
Nah, the promissory note would just be like a judgment against him personally. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll have a judgment against him, his company or whoever you wrote the promissory note to, but it's not like tied to any particular investment or property. It's not connected. It's just connected to the individual. Whereas if you get it recorded as a lien, it's connected to the property.
Couldn't you still try to take them to court and to get the money the same way then with that note then, or not necessarily?
Yeah, you can take them to court. Yeah. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's like anything else. Like
sure.
How he gonna get the money? Like he's been doing this to so many people. He got so much debt. Like how do you imagine that he gonna get the money unless
everybody can get the money back, man? It's similar to like the Bernie Madoff. I know I watched that documentary they had, or maybe live reenactment about it. And I think at one point he was like, "Yo, man, I ain't made a trade in like 15 years or something crazy." He said, like, what? So he's just moving the money around. Somebody give me the money. You want somebody moving around, but then at a certain point, if people ask for it all. At one point, it's like, oh, I can't give everybody their money because I only got 30% of the people's money, actually.
Right. He needs more. He needs more.
More people.
He needs more people to pay in so he can pay out to other people. But then it's never ending.
Never ending.
I never understood like the Ponzi scheme. Like I'm like, how do you exit this joint, bro?
You can't exit. You just gotta like
keep it going. Like that's.
And that's what they said. What people were saying, like people, they would just hit him up. He not responding and stuff like that. And like, yo, you just go some people because like, bro, I can't pay you literally, son. Like, I can't pay all you guys. You know what I mean? And so that's what's tough. That just becomes unsustainable because you can't keep, getting more and more people. There's a certain point where that's it. And I know, we had. I'm not gonna put the whole family business out there, but we had some, some people that if it just sounded too good to be true, my boy. It just sounded too good to be true. Like, yo,
you talking about the crypto stuff.
The crypto stuff, not like not with Cesar. They didn't invest with Cesar, no. But more so, they were like, yo, man, I get basically X amount of dollars just for free. So I'm like, I don't gotta do nothing. It's like, what? They just, like I gotta just sit here, like, yo, I'm just raking it in. Like, what? It seems too good to be true.
That's definitely what it is, bro. It's definitely Ponzi schemes.
And a 40%, bro. 40% in 4 to 5 months sound too good to be true too. Like, bro, like, yo, that's kind of sweet. I give you 50,000, you come back with the 20. Hey, come on now. Or say my pocket's deep. I give you the 500,000. You come back with the 300,000 on that joint. Like, hey,
this the crazy part about it, bro.
Yeah,
it's actually legitimate. Like it's not false. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not it. That's not
actual real estate. You're saying to make.
You can absolutely make those returns in real estate, if not more. Like it's not impossible. It's not super easy and likely, but it's not like impossible that somebody's like, oh, and especially if he says 20 to 40%, especially if he's talking about annualized, you know what I'm saying? Like then it's like, all right, shoot, like I can see that. I mean, if you, like I said, if you break it down for me, I've probably paid people close to 30%, 20-25% return on their investment in 5 months. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just really depends, man. It's just unfortunate that all these people had to get taken for their money, man. That's not cool.
Let me ask you the final question on this too, man. Do you think that DJ Envy should be held responsible for basically with the cosign, man? He wasn't on the name or nothing like that. He just kind of had the cosign and the stamp, you know what I mean?
Just because I know how real estate works and how easy it is for somebody to get like caught up doing some shady stuff. I say no, man. I say no. I'm not saying he's completely. I mean, I feel like he owes people an apology. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he. I just don't think he's.
That's it. Yo, my bad. Yo, I do owe you something actually. What? An apology. There is something actually I do have for you.
You know what I'm saying?
I do got something for you actually, bro. I got something for you, man. Meet me tomorrow at this time. I got something for you, man. Oh, wow, really? You come here? Yo, so go ahead, man. What you got for me? Bro, an apology. I'm sorry, dog. This happened to you.
Hey, that's hold on. In the chat, in the chat, Ashley said DJ Envy gotta lose his job.
Now, listen, there's a possibility because he also was on the radio station bringing this guy up with the cosign, bro. If you come up here bringing him up X amount of times per year, yo, this me and my man's here. We got this little seminar coming. And because here's the other thing, they were doing something similar to like the Earn Your Leisure guys in the sense of they were doing like this overall big picture. Here's how to make real estate. Then afterwards, people was like, yo, man, come on, man. I got 500,000. What you can do with it? Like, I heard you, all that stuff you said. Listen, here's my money. You know what I'm saying? So that's what was happening. And he was promoting it on the airways. He had been a guest on the Breakfast Club multiple times.
I mean, bro, like that I think that's just kind of crazy because it's like, all right, what about people that scam people off YouTube? They're buying YouTube ads, like, YouTube ran them, you know what I'm saying? They promoted them, like where does it stop? I guess what I'm saying is like if it's shown that he had no actual tie to how the money was moving.
Yeah.
I mean, even think about people like do like laundering and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
like at some point, people in the company don't know. You know what I'm saying? You can't like really hold that against them. What say you, babe?
I think what it is like iHeartMedia, where the Breakfast Club is syndicated, is like they are becoming named in the lawsuit. I think the other day they said that the feds raided the building, I guess, for recordings of when Cesar Pino was on the radio station. They might be found liable, because of what Avery was talking about. He's promoting a Ponzi scam via the airways. The Breakfast Club is, a national show. So you have to know that that's pressure from up top.
It's true. And I think it's
like, you know, when these things happen,
it's
you
money.
they have to make a move. Like, you gotta go, you gotta get up out of here.
For
You
PR
know what I mean?
purposes.
They gotta, heads might roll.
And
I mean, I say that to say this, right? Should they have to? I don't know. I mean, you know, these big radio stations, like, can they ease the burden of some of these people? Like, it'd probably be a good PR for them anyway if they had the money.
Yeah, I'm about to say, I'm not going to admit to nothing, be paying out these people from now. I can't do all that now from the radio station. I can't pay these people back, but I can fire Envy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can.
To get him out of here, it was his fault. Like, I mean,
that's a little more than an apology too for the person. Like, good, at least he out of here as opposed to the apology.
I mean, all right, look. I understand it's business. They do it all the time. Same thing like Ja Morant and stuff like that. Like, you lose endorsements because it's going to cost us more money to hold on to and make it seem like we support you in this, right? So I get it from that point, but like, do I personally feel like that's justice and that's right? I don't, because I don't know that DJ Envy, like, where he could have been scammed just like you, like. Imagine your boy, like, oh, I know this dude. I think he's solid, and he doing something shady. Like, it's just a surprise to me. Now it's your fault.
Now here's the thing. Here's the only thing with that, because I'm thinking about you mentioned if there's ads running, like they might run ads for something. I feel like it's different though when it's your man's versus like Tide Inc. or something. You know, some random company like, oh, I'm reading the ad off for Tide versus this my man's. Also, too, I haven't seen this, and maybe Ashley, you might know. I haven't seen Envy talk about, hey, I lost X amount of dollars. If he
has said that.
Oh, he did say he lost some money?
Actually come out and say that.
Well, he might need to say that just to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I lost money too, y'all. Listen, look at my account.
He actually did say that. I think last week he addressed the allegations live on the Breakfast Club for the first time. And he said that he actually lost $500,000, I believe. They were investing into a old school that they were converting into apartments. Okay. And he never saw that money.
Listen, man, here's the thing with that, right?
Yeah, they did it with Jay-Z, huh?
Let me say this here. Though. Check this out. He lost $500,000 in school, right? Here's the thing with the Ponzi scheme. People can get paid. People making money too, but it's not everybody can get paid. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody get. So my thing is this: I lost $500,000 in one investment. How much money you made before that rocking with this man for years? Don't try to come with this last joint. You know what I'm saying? Y'all lost $500,000, but actually I'm actually net 3.7 million actually.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of facts. That's kind of fact. Chances are, if he would have lost 500,000, it wasn't at this point. What I'm saying is like, all I'm saying is that DJ Envy could obviously and honestly be a victim.
Not know what's going on. It's possible.
He could have been like, yo, like, all right. Every investment I had, like, all you can do is verify what you know. Hey, I invested with the guy.
He the money afterwards.
He get me back the money afterwards. Maybe he Ponzi right and make sure I get right.
And it's kind of my boy too. So maybe when I call or text him, he also answering. I'm sorry he ain't calling and texting. Y'all call him, he ain't answering. That's tough. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I mean, and you also don't know exactly, I don't think Cesar was all in his business dealings with all these individual people that were investing, right? So even at the seminars, Leland and myself have been to real estate seminars, and at the end of them, there's always another ask for more money to be closer to the real estate journey, where they actually hold your hand and go through the process. I think that those were the moments where Cesar was converting some of these investors to say like, hey, just give me the money. It's more of a hands-off approach. He was probably promoting that just to get more money, robbing Peter to pay Paul. So you don't know exactly what he was doing or how.
Yeah, you don't know where in the process it went wrong.
Yeah.
And there's the thing too. I feel like he probably did, like most people, you have a tier system, like even like a Patreon, you have different tiers. So yeah, if you want to come and hey man, you're part of my monthly newsletter. Or we have a weekly Zoom call. It's $1,000 a month for this. That's fine. You know what I'm saying? I think, like you said, actually, where it ended up getting jammed up was people was like, all right, man, I hear all your stuff, but I ain't really trying to do all that junk. Here, man, here's 300,000. Yo, can you just get it back to me, 20%? That sounds good. Instead of me doing it myself, like Leland saying, like, I'm just going to give you this money, and then you hit me with this payment and stuff like that. And at the end of this time, that's probably what was happening, man. So I can see both sides, man. I don't know if he's going to lose it, but there was even a posting. I'm just remembering now. There was a posting on the Breakfast Club for a morning co-host, actually, They had a post like on LinkedIn or whatever, actually, man. So we'll see. That thing came out like last week or so. There was a posting available. So
that's crazy.
We'll see, man.
We also got a couple of clips, man. A funny, like,
oh yeah, I forgot about
the irony clip. You know what I'm saying? Like what I was talking about.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we got the first one where Envy was basically describing when he started telling people, his friends. I think he said he told Fat Joe, he called up Joe Buddy, he called up Fabulous and was like, hey, I got this investment opportunity. And here's pretty much what they said about it.
What year was this, you know?
I don't sure to hear, but it was him reflecting on it.
Yeah.
Right? Family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail. I first got into it.
Why
they clip it right there, though? Is that?
Right? On Desert Storm family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail.
It's just so far. So, in fact, hey, listen, man, not only a Ponzi scheme, you can go to jail. You keep on doing this joint, son.
Stop playing.
Yeah, you stop playing. Heck, nah. So, I want to hear, what happened. So, this, I think it's. Go ahead.
All right. Let me say this before the joint. Like, that's pretty telling, right? Because do you think, especially if that's recent, he reflected on it, do you think that him actually knowing it's a Ponzi scheme that he's in, you think he make a comment like that?
You saying he don't think it's a Ponzi scheme?
Like, what I'm saying is, if he knew that what he was actually involved in was a Ponzi scheme, do you think he's going to say those words?
No, good point. But counterpoint, hear what I would say if I'm the prosecution or lawyer. There were signs that not everything, you told this to somebody, they say, yo, you gonna go to jail, stop doing it. That's a sign. And
that's a sign.
You turned your back. You didn't look further into it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, here's Joe Budden's recount of the story here.
Calls me as someone that he is not speaking to. We have not spoken about anything. And he calls me and starts talking about some real estate shit. For me, that's odd. We don't speak. And now you calling me, telling me that your man's the government and he can get the buildings and there's a list. It'll be me, you, and Queen Latifah and whatever the fuck he was saying. Because I was walking my dog in the backyard. So I want to stop listening at this point. But that just sounded fishy. You give me some money. We're going to take it. We're going to get this. We're going to get that. And my brother.
Real estate, I call 3 people. I call Clue.
Yeah.
I call Fabulous.
Now listen.
I call Joe Budden. Right? On Desert Storm family. And I said, hey guys, I'm doing real estate. This is something that I think that, you should invest a little bit of money in, try it out, and that way you can do it. Joe Budden told me it was a Ponzi scheme and I was going to go to jail.
No comment from DJ Envy. An inside source tells us that the iHeartRadio offices were visited by the feds who took out electronic equipment as part of this investigation.
Look, man, it's crazy, bro. Because here's the thing. Now, that's a fact. Now, I had people, and I remember it too, because I am a fan of Joe Budden podcast. So I remember, and he said he called him out of the blue, and they weren't on speaking terms. That's 100%. If you got somebody in your life you ain't spoke to in a long time, and like, yo, I got an opportunity, that should be the red flags number one. Because it's different if we talking all the time, or I talk to you a few times a year.
Right.
If we ain't spoken in years, and you come through with because it's like this. Why would you call me as opposed to if it's a legit opportunity? Call people you actually know and stuff. You know what I'm saying? To put
maybe he did.
Yeah, maybe not though. But so he still he called some people he knew that had some money. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. I mean, what I'm saying is, bro, like that's what I'm saying. Like even in this joint, right? I get it. It's funny. It's ironic for sure.
Now, hold on. I'm turning a little bit, bro. I'm thinking, bro. The fact that hold on. What I'm saying. I'm putting this piece together. The fact that you called somebody who you really not speaking with, and he said these are one of 3 people I call. Who knows his relationship with these other people? And I don't really talk to this person like that no more. Like, and also Joe Budden had mentioned they had a falling out before then. So it's like, that seems like, yo, if I'm going to screw someone over, let it be someone I don't really know like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really care if I screw this person over too much, bro. Because if not, if I run into a legit opportunity like what happened within our family, they're gonna start close first. Don't call some person you ain't spoke to since high school. Like, hey man, there's this great opportunity for you. You know.
Listen, bro. Listen. I got to push back on that. You know what I'm saying? My man Mike is in the chat. It's my guy. He's also a fellow real estate investor. He's talking about DOT, which is deed of trust, and try to be first position. It's kind of what I was telling you about before. Like you trying to be a lien against the property. So, but yeah, I got to push back on the idea of like, like, you know, you're not gonna be talking and asking people like, but you are like as an investor, like the people who have invested in me, I didn't know before investing. You see what I'm saying? So it's like the idea of people investing in real estate and making money in returns, it is absolutely legitimate. Like there are like in any capacity, bro. There's people who, you know, run corporations who are shady, you know what I'm saying, laundering money, stealing from the money. Like there's no way to avoid a bad apple if they bad. You know what I'm saying? Because the actual act or the vehicle of real estate and investing is not that crazy. And like even the idea of him calling like people he know who have money who might be interested, there could have just been a conversation they had in the past about like, hey, reinvesting. I seen a joint today. Matter of fact, who was it? Was Andre Iguodala. He was on First Take.
Okay,
just retired, and he's talking about like, hey, he started a venture capital firm, and he's been trying to get some of the dudes that's in the NBA to jump on with him. Like it's the same concept. Like if you know, like you might not talk to these people, or maybe played a game or two with them. You know what I'm saying? And you're like, hey, listen, bro, like I got an opportunity for you. You can invest with my company. We do this. I'm gonna show you my returns. Blah 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 blah. That's not uncommon, bro.
Now here's why. It's true to talk about. Here's why it is uncommon. DJ Envy. So we put both clips together. He said he called 3 people. Not I called everyone I knew, and I'm trying to get everybody on this joint. If I want
to, he said he called him his Desert Storm fan.
I don't know that.
I ain't saying that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
why he talking about it on a pod? Why is DJ Envy recapping it on a podcast if he didn't feel like it was legitimate? Like, why would he bring that type of energy to him if he knew he was actually doing that? Like, man, Joe Budden said it was this Ponzi scheme, but it really is. Like, why would he do that?
Listen, but also too, you know, Joe Budden's kind of eclectic out there and stuff like that. So saying that it might be like it's like the hide in plain sight. That's my counterpoint. It's the hide in plain sight. It's like some people say, if I'm lying to you, like I'm just gonna lie straight up, and then you know, you might, oh, he's joking. Like, actually, no, son, this is
no, I was for real. I
like
might murk you.
Seminar, he's like, oh man, imagine him at a seminar. Hey man, some people call this a Ponzi scheme, but you know, what do they know? Ha ha ha. And it's like he come out afterwards. Listen, he tell y'all that some people do say it's a Ponzi scheme. You know what I'm saying? This is a Ponzi. I said that up there. Y'all don't remember saying
I said it verbatim. I have the recording.
Y'all thought I was joking. That's the problem, son. No, it actually is, you know what I mean? So that's crazy, man. That's crazy, man. Listen, I hope that the people can somehow recoup their money, though.
Me too, man.
We'll see what happens with Season of Trial. If he actually was doing this stuff, man, throw him out, because to me, man, you never know whose people are just giving you their last or like making a sacrifice for this joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think there's 2 things to be said. Like for sure, I definitely hope that people get their money back. It's also that why it's so important to vet the people that you working with, or like to like. I mean, I guess it's really hard. They co-sign, and that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. Like DJ Envy, like I don't really know DJ Envy. You know what I'm saying? And if you go to his conference, like you don't really know DJ Envy. Like you know what I'm saying? Like people
but
who
it's command of trust, man. And that's what happened in that movie Parasite too. So if you remember Parasite, I watched it recently again. Saying if you watch Parasite, that's what was happening, because it's like this, Leland. As you my family and cousin. If you told me something and you trusted it 100%, since I trust you 100%, I'm a rock with it, my boy. You know what I'm saying? And I might even tell a friend now, because like, nah, so my cousin told me. My cousin told me,
come my on, guy. Like, yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, that chain of trust, and you had that little cosign, it's gonna mean a lot, son.
It's gonna mean a lot, bro. But that's what I'm saying. There's no way to. The best way to do it is, like you said, get a deed of trust, get a lien on the property. Like basically, what I'm saying is like you got to know for yourself. Okay. You know, the more you know for yourself, the more educated you are, the less likely you are to get scammed. That's period. I don't care what's
the deed of trust, man? Because even when I saw him in the chat, DOT, I was like, yo, Department of Transportation and trying to get first position.
A deed of trust is simply the documentation that states that you have a lien and they owe you X amount of money, or you have an agreement about X amount of money lent on that property.
And if they don't give it to you back, you get the property, you're saying, or something like that.
Correct.
Oh, that's dope, man. Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
That's how you do it, guys.
That's how you do it. It's just the process of that is a little bit more intensive, and most people don't know, and they just quick to to get to the money and like, oh, cosign. All right, cool. You've been doing this. All right, cool. I just do it. But that's why you got to kind of know, even you underwrite the deal. The more you know about real estate, there's a lot of people who invest. There's a ton of people who live off just investing money in real estate deals, and they do it this way. They know enough about real estate to understand what looks right, what doesn't, and then they make sure that they get everything buttoned up and tightened up with the attorney to make sure that they can get the property back if they don't need to. And that's ultimately, as unfortunate as it sounds, it's accountability. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Accountability. So
for sure.
Hopefully they get their stuff back, man. It's mad unfortunate, man, but we'll see as the story unfolds.
Okay.
Speaking of,
I was gonna say, speaking of here, hold on. Speaking of almost money, this is what I was thinking.
Money, okay.
How you gonna do this? It's opening day of the NBA. The games actually start soon too, man. The games start soon, bro. So I'm thinking Giannis just signed with a big deal. He just signed a big deal. An extension. He had 1 year left on his contract. He signed for 3 years, $186 million. So $62 million a year he got with the Bucks. And so this is good. The cool thing about this is that this aligns perfectly, Leland, with Dame Lillard's contract. Dame Lillard has that amount of years left on it. And also it's funny because if you remember earlier this summer, Giannis was asked about contract extensions. And he was saying, oh, he wants to be like competing for championships. And he won't re-sign until the team is being competitive. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so what do you think about him signing, man? I think it's telling, bro. I think it's telling for him to sign, especially when he didn't have to sign.
Yeah. I think it's telling. I think it's smart move for him. I think it's smart. It's a great move for the Bucks, just to kind of like shore up Dame. I think really more than anything, it's like a morale.
Absolutely, I agree.
Because like, bro, I mean, Giannis gonna get his money no matter what. You know what I'm saying?
That too.
And even if he, you sign there, people can always request a trade. Like you can go wherever you really want to when you that kind of player and talent. So this is just for like continuity, chemistry. So. Like, hey man, I'm in it. I'm committed. Like, let's just get this season popping. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what this move was for me.
I think it also extends the window a little bit too, bro, because like I said, this past summer, he was getting questions about his free agency and stuff. And he was like, hey, I'm not going to sign. You know what I mean?
Right.
So for him to re-sign, I think that shows that, hey, I'm here with you guys.
I'm happy with what y'all did.
I'm happy with what y'all did. And also, I think that opens their window for, like you said, we talked about before, Boston versus Milwaukee for the next 3-4 years.
That's going to be a little rivalry, man.
I think it opens it up as opposed to, and also now you don't have to deal with questions every day of practice. And after a win, Giannis, next year, are you going to resign? Are you going to resign?
Hey, bro, I'm in here. He can still get
traded.
He said he lost. You talking about DJ Envy or you talking about Giannis?
I think he's talking about DJ Envy. He said he lost $500K. So, Mike, I don't know if you heard me with that. Here's my counterpoint to that. Yes, I lost $500K, but over the course of this 7 years, he been scamming. I made $3.2 million.
Why he been scamming? Like some of your money is the Ponzi money, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But listen, so to me, that at the end to come with, I lost $500K. Come on now. How much?
Show me the whole thing. Yeah.
Show me the whole thing. Yeah. How much did you net with this dude? You know what I mean? So. Yeah, it's crazy. But $500K, listen, Giannis, that's nothing to him, son. $500K, he making $62 million a year coming up, son. That's big time money, my boy.
That's
big time money.
Crazy money, bro. That's like you can't even. What
is that, bro? You know what somebody else said too? I thought it was funny. Somebody said, "Yo, this also gave I think who's his brother that's on the team with him." He said, "Yo, he just resigned too." Basically, you got another 4 years in the league.
The whole family resigned, bro. The whole family resigned. Hey, everybody getting a pay bump, bro. Everybody getting the extra 3 years, $3 million. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. 3 years, $3 million.
Yo, my best friend got a contract extension for 3 years, $3 million.
That's it. That's basically what happens. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. To seeing the season, like I said, season starts tonight in about 10 minutes. So I'm about to be hyped watching that joint. Hey. And our last topic, go ahead, Lena.
What's your prediction for the night, man? Who you got winning the game?
I'm gonna go Suns winning on the late game, early game. It's tough, man. I'm pulling for the Lakers, but I just don't know. I got Denver coming out the West, so I don't know about the first game. I guess I'm gonna go Lakers, man. I'm gonna go Lakers and Suns winning for tonight. Who you got, bro?
Where they at? They in Denver?
In Denver, ring night. I don't know if you saw that ring too. I just saw this right before. Somebody said it's the worst looking ring like in NBA history. Recent memory, it looked bad, yo. It looked just really basic. So people rings been looking crazy lately. Their ring looks basic.
Who had to do it, man?
Huh?
Who's the jeweler, man? Somebody unknown.
Man, Tim from up the block, boy, that junk look kind of weird. I mean, it look basic, dog.
He Ponzi scheme. They ain't real diamonds in it.
It is, bro. He told the owner, listen, these rings going to be $800,000 each. You look at them, just bro. No, I'm just saying. That's
okay, but I'm like, wait,
that's what he said to them, and then he probably got it for $15,000, bro. Them rings, they don't look that expensive, dog. They don't look that expensive. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Who you got for tonight? Maybe Ashley can put it in there. Who you got for tonight, dog?
For tonight, let me see, man. I think Golden State gonna win tonight because I just think that Golden State has got more of a bone to pick with Phoenix than Phoenix has a bone to pick with them. Chris Paul. He got a little bone to pick, and then you know how Draymond is about KD and that whole thing. So I just feel like there's going to be a little bit more tension on Golden State side. Is it in Golden State?
Agree. I don't know where that. Let me see. Go ahead. Keep talking.
If it's in Golden State for sure, even if it's not in Golden State,
yeah.
I think Steph gonna come out. Steph fresh. He got fresh legs. He might drop a 40 piece on him tonight. They can't guard nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting, man. I'm gonna be tuned in. I'll tell you that for sure. And I think, man, I think Denver got him. I think Denver. I actually think the Lakers are gonna be competitive this year. I like it. I just think they're gonna price. I feel like they're gonna start a little slower. Like LeBron a little old. You know what I'm saying? AD a little old. I feel like they need a little.
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna hit their stride like mid-season. You know what I'm saying? Not right now. I think Denver are gonna come out. They young boys. They feeling good. Ring night. Even though most time they do lose on ring night. Don't they? Isn't that the thing?
Oh, you mean because you coming up high on emotion and stuff like that, man. It's tough, man. It's tough.
So it might be. I don't know, man. Let's see how it really comes down for me. X factor is how LeBron look.
Okay. Well, he should look great. I mean, he's probably the best he's gonna look all in the sense of, I guess, injury wise. You might need to play in shape more.
But I'm saying, like, how does he look like?
Sure.
Like how great of a game he's gonna have. How much impact is he gonna have on the game? If we're gonna come out with a chip on his shoulder, like if LeBron feel like he trying to win this night and like trying to sour it, then I give him a good chance. But ultimately, I feel like KD, I feel like Steph and Chris Paul gonna put on the show tonight, basically.
Yeah. Listen, last thing, speaking of putting on shows, man, I know we talked about Wemby. The last thing, there's just a still image. There's a still image of the two things. There's a still image of Wemby's block. Bleacher Report. Now, so with the ring, I was looking it up. I saw one thing with the ring, Leland, that the Denver Nuggets ring looked pretty good. Another video I saw looks bad. If it's the one that looks good, no, this is a cold ring. There's one that looks bad, so I'm not sure. Whichever one. Ashley said she got it here. And so I had saw something earlier just passing through where it showed the ring, and I was like, nah, this ain't it, my boy. But then I saw another one. Oh no, this is the one that looks legit. Now, see this? I'm saying, no, this looks.
That's kind of cool. No,
this ain't the one I saw, bro. This one looks legit.
Got a sound effect.
Now this one is cold for sure. The other one I saw, I don't know if actually you saw a different one. This is the one. That's why I was. This looks fire. The other one, bro, looks basic, bro. I have to show you after. There was another ring, and it just looks super.
So they weren't all done by the same person. What you mean?
I think I might have been seeing some false information, man. You know what I mean?
Like, this. You know how they doing the.
Yeah. So no, that ring looks legit. Sorry to the champs, y'all. That ring's legit, but that ring's legit. But one thing I was going to say is the Wemby thing. Lastly, I know we talked about Wemby being crazy, but there was a photo taken of his block that he had, bro. Have you seen this picture yet, Leland?
I'm looking at it right now in the notes,
bro. That's crazy. That shot should be clear. Think about how high up that ball is, and it's getting blocked.
Bro, I mean,
that's crazy.
That's probably like 11 feet.
I think some said 12 feet in the air, bro. Bro, that shot should not.
Look how far it is from Wiggins, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That just been released, dog. That should not be getting blocked, dog. That's crazy.
He a monster, bro. He a monster, man.
You're gonna be watching Wemby this year too, man. There was a block. You guys can look it up.
Man, this is all right. One last joint, bro. One last joint. I gotta get your take on it especially because we ultimately did not decide to do fantasy this year for whatever reason. Fantasy basketball we normally do, guys. Where would you have drafted Wemby?
How much blocks count for it? If they count for a disproportionate
blocks count a lot.
If they count for a lot, then
block count more than any other stat in fantasy the way we played it.
Health is nothing. I can say safely top 20. I can say that safely then top 20.
Ooh, I don't think you would have got him, bro.
I'm saying because if blocks are
like,
a lot,
but I say I'm like, where do you all right? That's not where you draft him, but like, where do you think he would be drafted? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to think not just you, like, who are you drafting him over? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, there's some of the bona fide people I'm still taking over him, man. I'm still taking.
You taking Jason Tatum over him? You taking Dame over him?
I gotta see how much Tatum. Because here's the thing, Tatum scored a lot. Because fantasy is different from the actual like.
Right.
So I know Tatum's averaged like 30 points a game last season, but I don't know how much he did fantasy wise. Like, where did Tatum rank last year? And since we're not playing fantasy, I can't see last year's things.
Yeah, I feel you.
So that's what I'm saying. To me, so I think so. I mean, he's not gonna do more than Jokic and Giannis and maybe.
I personally think, and this is just me, and I can tell you that I felt like because the way we was gonna do it, like you pick your position based off what you did last year. I was like third. I was third place, so I could have had the third spot.
You would have taken him at third?
Nah, I can't take him third.
That's too high, bro.
Not over Luka, not over Giannis, not over Jokic. But if somebody picked him number 4 or 5, I couldn't be mad at him. It's a gamble.
This is the block here, guys. This is the block here. This is crazy,
bro. It's a gamble. It's a gamble. But
I think it's too high gamble that early, especially with the injury wise. That's why I would say top 20. If somebody picked him like 13th, I would have been like, okay, you know what I'm saying? 17th, okay, you know what I mean? But you think he might be gone by then potentially, but I ought to see.
He would definitely be gone by then. Somebody in our group would have definitely.
I would have bro. I can't say I'm taking because we have.
He a number 1 pick. He gonna be you paying 8 people deep.
I can't even say if we had 8 people in our draft picking them top 8. I don't know, bro. Because also it's the games played as well. You know what I mean? Also, what's he gonna be listed as now? If he listed as a few different things now, that could also help his case now. You know what I'm saying? But power forward center, but also maybe they throw small forward. But what if they do shooting guard? I'm just bro, he's playing like a guard out there, bro. I don't know what he could be listed as now.
He's never gonna be listed as no guard, nothing, bro. Never.
Listen, bro. LeBron been listed as a point guard before, so hey, listen.
Yeah, but that's LeBron. Like he actually played point. Like he had mad assists. Like Wemby not gonna have mad assists.
Bro, look at this block here. This is insane. Yo, Mike, what you think, dog? This is crazy, dog. Look at this block. That ball, and also low key, he's shooting it with a high arc too. Low key, that thing is pretty up. It ain't that flat. I'm talking about like his trajectory, and it's still getting blocked, man.
Yeah,
yo, Wemby, I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to the NBA season. Game starts in like a few minutes, bro. So
hey, let's get to it, man.
Let's get to it, man.
That's it for this episode, guys. Look, we always appreciate y'all sticking with us, laughing with us, joking with us, man. Get in the comments. Let us know what you think about all these topics, man. It was a crazy day in the media. NBA will be back. We'll be talking more about that next week after tonight's game. But
for sure,
we appreciate you guys. Like, subscribe, share. Have a blessed week.
Peace.
We out.
Yeah, be watching, man. I'm gonna see what they said. The team.